Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be joined with the very, very talented JP with her fantastic movie, Creme Brulee the Movie. Let's take a look at the clip.
On Sundays, you couldn't find anyone holier. But on Fridays, there was a bar hidden down his back alley. It's hammer time.
I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for making such a great film for us. I still can't quite believe we didn't go to Paris, but you know, that's another story. But anyways, for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
It's basically a story about a woman who lies to her girlfriend about going to Paris and instead stays in Sacramento to make it look like Paris. And then all that ensues from that. It's
a brilliant story. Like, it really is. And you did such a great job behind and in front of camera.
Thank you.
Like, really, really, really. And I just love it because, you know, the things we do for love, right? The things we do to impress people, the things we do. And I love this, you know, kind of storyline that you did and the lengths in which your character went to get there. Where did the inspiration come from in making this particular story and turn it into a film?
I actually went to a place called Sacramento Film Festival, and I'm like, I want to do this. The film has to be family friendly, under 10 minutes, has to be filmed in Sacramento or about Sacramento. And I go, I can do this. And then I just came up with this idea of, you know, originally it was about losing a job, and you've already planned this trip to Europe, but you don't want to tell your girlfriend. And then it had to be condensed, obviously, for its 10 minutes. But then I love Paris, and I started looking around Sacramento, and there's a lot of Paris in Sacramento. The trees, the light, we have French architecture, there's of course French art, French wine, you know, and so it just kind of blossomed. And I asked my friends, when you think of France, or Paris, what do you think of? And they said mimes and baguettes. And I'm like, no, we are not putting mimes in the movie. And so, well, you know, if you're going to put one, you might as well put five. So it just blossomed into this movie.
No, I love that you obviously, because you had obviously some things to go by. So you had challenges. You're like, oh, let's make it like it's in Paris. Like, I think that's such a great idea. Did you always know you were going to be playing the role in the movie as well as working behind the scenes? And how was that dynamic for you?
Yes, the reason I was really passionate about this is because I love movies. When the going gets tough, it's tough to go to the movies. But I didn't really see myself in the movies I saw, especially lesbian films. They're either coming out or, you know, some tragic thing or vampires or something. And I'm a rom-com kind of person. I said, I want to represent something that's about me.
Yeah, I love, and again, you know what was so beautiful to watch is, again, I'm being on many different juries and programs for LGBTQ+ as well myself, just to actually see a movie about love, you know, about these two, you know, lovely women that were just like falling in love. It wasn't about anything other than that was part of the experience, not the actual subject line as well with what you've mentioned. Was that, are you always kind of advocating, and that's that quite important to you to kind of go across the stereotypes as well? You know?
And it's a very universal story.
Yes, exactly.
Because, I mean, not everybody, but most people have fallen in love with someone, they want someone, you know, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but it's a very universal story. And small children related to it, adults have related to it, and it's been really fun.
I mean, I know you've got a stand-up comedy experience as well as many other amazing attributes, but you are extremely funny. Like, you were just in so many different, like, you were very funny in there, and I was just amazed at your amazing comedic timing and just how natural it was for you. But great job on that. I'm also fascinated as well because you actually filmed this in the actual location, not Paris, but in an actual airport as well.
Yes.
Now, for most people, I know you're a very determined person, but how did that work out, like finding your location?
Well, you know, the good thing is that it was part of a place called Sacramento Film Festival. And so what I had behind me was the fact that it's a place called Sacramento. If I go to Modesto or somewhere else to go to the airport, it's not Sacramento. And if anyone knows Sacramento, they know what that airport looks like. And so I was bound and determined to get it. I banged on doors and threw a fuss. And even the night before we were to film, still up in question. It's,
wow.
Yeah,
Well, great job, because that's not an
you.
easy feat as well. What making this film, like, what have you kind of enjoyed or maybe learned mostly from this experience?
I think the most important takeaway is I love it.
Yeah.
I love making film. You get the bug, and you just have to do it. It was at a hard time. Fortunately, it was right before COVID, so there were people at the airport. It was a downer that it came right as COVID was hitting, because it didn't go to film festivals. But on the other hand, we got the locations and the people because they were out at the time. And it was kind of interesting. The scene where I'm looking over my shoulder at my phone was actually Pride, or on the bridge, that was Pride weekend in Sacramento, and there are actually all these people going down the street to the Pride Festival. So it was kind of, yeah, it was kind of funny.
Well, aside from you putting in a great performance yourself, I love the rest of your cast. You know, your girlfriend's so good, and all the other characters. How did you bring how's your casting process? How was that for you?
Well, the nice thing is the cast is very small, and there's a cast and crew call through the film festival. People find out, for the first time, what the 10 films are, and they can volunteer, because it's to give people experience in film. It's to showcase the talent and locations of Sacramento. So we had a cast and crew call, but all three of the ladies, they're so good. I was like, they're so good. They are really, really, they're seasoned actors, and they're really, really good. And because the film is 10 minutes, you don't see the part where I fall down. I actually have a special effects artist who's 13 that you could see the bone hanging out of my leg, but my director felt like it would be too jarring. And then Andrea, when she sees me fall over, she runs around, and she's hilarious.
Yes.
She's, it was, unfortunately, it didn't make it into the film, but they are so good, and they're so funny. And Brooklyn is awesome. Yeah.
Well, you've been on this journey since 2019, of course. There was a whole big thing in the middle of all of that.
Yes.
What's the experience? I mean, it's been, you said, over 18 film festivals.
Yes.
Like, what has the experience been like to share this, and especially live in front of audiences? How's that been for you?
Well, it's been, the live part's been very limited. So it was really nice to see last night, the showing. There was a couple live showings, and then nothing happened, and now it's kind of being re-released. And so I've been to live showings, but I really like the audience reaction to it, and it's been really great. It's so great to see it, with an audience, and feel the reactions and stuff. Yeah.
And for you as a director, as a creator, as a writer, like behind the scenes, like how's your process work? Like what do you kind of quite hands-on? You kind of let people play? Like what's your kind of process working with other actors?
I didn't direct it.
Yeah.
So I wrote it. And that's the key, is when you're in process, find someone good. And my director is really, really good. And she also edited the film. There wasn't a lot of ad-libbing with it. It's subtleties that really made a difference in the film, because I play the dope, right? And so I have to be very, very kind of flat. So next film, I want to do something different, where the neck brace was very uncomfortable, and the boot,
I'm sure.
it was super uncomfortable. So it wasn't hard for me to play like I was sad about lying to my girlfriend, because I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Well, I was gonna add, actually, in terms of working behind the scenes, because as a writer, when you're sharing your film with another director, and then they're directing you as the character, what would you say is important to, like, when you're looking for your director? Because you want to have someone that really understands your vision too, as well, right?
Yes, I had showed Dawn films that I really like Only the Lonely, and so she had a vision of what that was, and then we did stuff together before filming, and the first thing I said was, you're the director, whatever you say, I will listen to and I will do.
I love that.
Because it's her artistic vision, and what she has in mind for how things are going to work. Just don't worry, I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
Oh, I love that. It's very, very clear.
Yeah.
What is next for you? What is next?
I'm a drone pilot, and so I really want. It's similar to Finding Nemo, where a drone gets disconnected from the transmitter and flies around, and it's kind of like are you my mother? So the drone's asking, where am I? And specifically about Orange County, there's a lot of things in Orange County like the blimp hangars and things that people don't know about, and I think would be very interesting to do.
No, definitely. Honestly, your resume is like beyond off the chart. I mean, it's really fantastic.
Yeah,
all the
thank
things
you.
you've accomplished,
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure it all leads to
Yeah.
the creative process and things
Yes,
you've learned and
yes,
experienced as
yeah.
well. If there's like looking, I mean, there's a lot of people that obviously would love to be in a position of being a filmmaker and don't even know where to begin, where to start. Do you have any kind of advice in just kind of life, or just even as your creative process that you could kind of share with our audience?
I think the biggest thing is to do it, right? And that's not to say to be on set, to find opportunities, to meet people, and to actually see what it is. And whatever career you want to do, I always say to people, go shadow a person and see, is that something you want to do?
Yeah.
And because how we think about it, or even see it in a movie or TV or hear about on the news, what they really do might be very different than what you think, or it might you just spark something. And people are very, very generous. If you're enthusiastic and you are a person that can be taught, people want to teach you, and they want to help you, and they want to mentor, because each generation steps ahead, hopefully.
Well, I think one of the greatest things that I've learned from you as well, of all the different attributes of being from radio to being, I mean, TV, and then, but as soon as well, like, oh my goodness, so many things, is that you take on so many roles, you get to understand and appreciate the roles and what people do in those roles as well. Is that something that's helped you by learning all these different roles, that you kind of appreciate the whole process of filmmaking as well?
It's important because it is a team.
Yeah.
And this was my first film.
I can't believe this.
This
It's
was my
ridiculous.
first film, and it's kind of crazy because, in order for us to get the Capitol, we had to be there at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so I come from behind the pillar, and there's like 30 people out here, and there's me. It's like, oh, where's the person that's helping me? So yeah, it's a team, and everybody is so important, and everybody is needed, and that's true in society. Whatever you do, we're all needed, and we all should be valued.
Oh my, well.
Yeah.
What a great life lesson that is for us as well. But
Yeah.
JP, thank you for your
thank
first
you.
film. I'm ready for your second.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
please let us know. But thanks so much. You did a great
thank
performance,
you.
and
Thank you.
we're looking forward to seeing
Thank you.
Creme Brulee, the movie too, or something. I don't know.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. Well, the
Yeah.
other thing, if I can mention really fast, is the joke is, what does a lesbian bring on a second date? And that's a U-Haul. So we are going to work on a
love
series
that.
called She-Haul Hell, because so many people are leaving California and they're taking the U-Haul equipment away, and nobody's moving in. So they need people to go out to all these little places and pick up the equipment. So that's another thing that's in the works.
I can't wait. I
know,
can't wait.
it's
I
gonna be
really
great.
can't wait.
It's yeah.
No, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be
Thank you.
another wonderful. Are you going to be in this one as well? Are you going to be in this?
Yes, I hope so.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I
yes, yes.
should.
Yeah, cast yourself in your
I
own
know.
movies for sure.
I know. To be honest, when we were talking about the movie, my film friends, when I say I'm going to make Sacramento look like Paris, and they're like, well, what are you talking about? And then they asked me if I was going to be in the movie, and I go, I don't know. And she goes, of course you are. I said, okay, I'll do it.
JP, I think you could do everything. But
Thank
listen,
you.
thanks for Creme Brulee the movie.
Thank you so
Looking forward to the
much.
next project, and welcome to New Filmmakers.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. It was
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you, JP, everybody.
Thank you.